Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am here to talk about Max Grishin versus Phillipe Lins. Phillipe Lins is 16 and 5, 37 years old, and he's given up 1 inch of height and he's got 2 inches of reach over Max Grishin, who is 39 years old and has a record of 32, 9 and 2. A lot of experience. These guys both fought in the PFL. Phillipe Lins actually won the PFL championship, I think, in 2018. Ran through that tournament, got a big fourth-round stoppage over Josh Copeland in the finale, and won $1 million. But since then, he's had mixed results. Came to the UFC, looked a little flat, but then dropped down to light heavyweight, and he's looked pretty good so far. I can't say he's going to be a world beater. This is the answer to all of his problems, because he beat Marcin Prachnio in a pretty good fight, actually, a very good fight, and a good performance. And then he knocked out OSP, which I guess on paper is a better performance, but, feel like you're able to take away more from the Prachnio fight, because OSP was 50 years old. I know these guys are 40 years old, but still, OSP has a lot of mileage, and I think that would have happened with anybody with enough firepower. Still, Phillipe Lins, he's a well-rounded guy. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's never been submitted. Let me just get into it. His 5 losses, 4 come by TKO, 1 by decision. The decision comes at heavyweight to Arlovsky 2 years ago, or whatever. And the 4 TKO losses come to Tanner Boser, Vadim Nemkov, Kleber, whatever the fuck, this guy Kleber, this Brazilian guy, and Kelly Adamson beat him by injury. He injured his knee. I don't know. I just remember that name, Kelly Adamson, for beating Volkan Oezdemir in Bellator. But anyway, he's been knocked out a few times. Nemkov, Boser, and the guy Kleber. I have my doubts about Phillipe Lins' chin. And I don't want to say it's a situation where cutting weight is going to make him more vulnerable, because I like the way he's looked. And he was in a slugfest with Prachnio. And say what you will about Prachnio, but as limited as he may be, he is a hard-hitting striker. So Phillipe Lins, I don't have any more doubts about his chin at light heavyweight. And I like his work rate. Again, based on that Prachnio fight, I like the way he looked at light heavyweight there. But here against Maxim Grishin, I think he's up against it. I think Grishin is, if Grishin doesn't fall apart physically, because, he is 39 years old now, I expect Grishin to be better than him. I just think Grishin will rough him up on the inside and on the outside. Could be a close fight, could be going point for point, but I think Grishin is just a healthier fighter. Phillipe Lins, I don't trust his chin nearly as much as I do Grishin. Grishin, he's had plenty of losses, 9 losses, 3 by TKO, 3 by submission, 3 by decision. But the only ones that are worth a fuck in the last half a century or whatever are to Dustin Jacoby, close fight, Marcin Tybura, monstrous heavyweight, and Magomed Ankalaev, who, I don't know where he's at exactly, but he's very close to the top of the fucking world. And that was a round 4 stoppage. So he's looked really good as of late. He does have 2 draws in the PFL, but that's PFL shit. That means if you draw in the PFL, it's a 2-round fight. It means you split the rounds 1-1, and the guy that won the first round moves on to the next fucking round. So, whatever. Kind of a shitty system, but I understand they have to move forward with their tournaments, and it's all about television and whatever. Still, Maxim Grishin, he's looked pretty good in the UFC. You could argue he won that Jacoby fight, certainly. I thought Jacoby won, but Grishin was very much in that. The William Knight fight, he looked very good, I guess. I don't know, but I think the story was more William Knight looked very bad. That's really my takeaway from that fight. But Grishin's definitely a capable fighter, excellent kickboxer. Really, I think he will be able to take away a lot of Phillipe Lins' strengths. Phillipe Lins, he's got a great kicking game, and obviously we saw with OSP, he's got some power, and I think he's going to be losing that power battle and the physicality battle to Grishin. Grishin does have 1 inch of height on him, but it's not like he's that much bigger. But I still consider him to be bigger and stronger, and I expect him to rough up Phillipe Lins in tight. And on the outside, I guess I'd say it's a close fight, but I think Grishin's the better kickboxer. And I certainly think Grishin's the healthier fighter, despite being 2 years older. And could be a crucial 2 years, 37 to 39. But with the long layoff for Grishin, haven't seen him in a while and everything else, I'm not betting on this fight. I'm just staying away from it. But my pick for this fight is Maxim Grishin wins. And at minus 130, it's very tempting to bet on it, but there's enough X factors where I'm just going, fuck it. I'm going to stay away from this one. But Maxim Grishin is the pick. I do think he could get a TKO at any point in this fight, and I do think if it goes to a decision, I'd favor him to win. So, picking him. Like, share, subscribe, all that horseshit. Check out my other videos.